a little rough, which indicates normally it's a rapid intensification, so that's why it was so rough when we first went through it. And then if you notice the next couple times we went through it, it wasn't quite as rough because the storm was a little bit more stabilized.
That's Captain Brad Boudreaux from Hurricane Hunters out of Keesler Air Force Base. And this is exclusive video of the captain who was flying our crew inside Hurricane Milton. Good evening and thank you for watching WXXV News 25 at 5. I'm Elizabeth Keene. We begin with an exclusive story now. As we wait for Hurricane Milton to make landfall, we give you an inside view of the storm. Here's this story.
EJ and I just finished up our Hurricane Hunters flight. I haven't been on many flights in my life. I may be an aviation enthusiast, but really haven't been on that many flights.
Going through the storm itself, like when we were actually hitting the storm, and you can see on the radar, like we were going through some pretty intense parts. We're like hitting the red parts of the storm, and man, I mean, we were shaking in here. But it was while it was a little shaky, it was a little scary. I'm not gonna lie, but it was fun and a cool experience.
This information we use as meteorologists on a daily basis, it doesn't come from nothing. It's not just made up, especially in situations like this with something like a Category 5 hurricane in that position where it's at in the Gulf. Somebody's got to get that information. We don't have radars floating on the water.
Right.
And so these folks get in there and they get into the storm, and sometimes it's not easy, as we saw firsthand. Just the sheer magnitude of the storm. If you look at the intensity, I was telling EJ, I reached over in the middle of the flight and we had our earplugs on. I took off my earplugs. I said, EJ, just to put this in perspective, sea level pressure, 1,013.25 millibars. Helene, which just caused all that destruction, at times was over 940.
Yes.
This storm has been below 900, so it was sub 900 millibars at times, which just gives you that perspective that it's just a beast. And even though it hasn't necessarily impacted land on a huge scale yet, it will in some form, and it's a double-edged sword. You either get the winds, but if it slows down, then it spreads out the storm surge risk, as we saw with Katrina.
Go ahead and check this out, man. If you get a chance to, man, they are doing some pretty cool stuff over here, y'all. Reporting live from where you live here in Biloxi.
Hit them with your signature, as Austin Lindsay says.
Yes.
Hit them with it.
I'm Every Goddamn Junior, WXXV News 25, and that's Trey Tollinson right there.